What's up, y'all? Welcome to the first official episode of Life with Libby. Y'all, I am so excited to do this. I'm also really scared, like really scared. I'm sweating a lot, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. I have been wanting to do this for a couple of years now, and I finally just decided to pull the trigger and do the dang thing. So a couple things, guys, this is just so crazy that this is happening, and I'm really doing this dang thing. One, I hope that this goes on for a while, so I'm going to lay a few ground rules. One, I'm going to use hot sauce words. Yes, those are swear words. In my family, we call them hot sauce words. My cousin, I don't know. It's a long story, but I won't tell you that right now. Hot sauce words are swear words, and I may use a few of them. I'm going to try to refrain from the F-bomb because my mom and my Nana are going to watch this, and they would be incredibly disappointed in me if I just started dropping the F-bomb everywhere. So I'm going to do my best not to use that one. But I probably will say a few hot sauce words. A few cuss words may come out. I say a lot because I'm incredibly nervous, so that's something that I'm going to work on as this podcast progresses. This first episode is probably going to be a complete shit show, and that's totally okay because we're going to fail forward and we're going to learn and we're going to grow, and it's going to be great, right? Yes, it's going to be great. What was my second thing? Oh, squirrel brain. I have squirrel brain, so I run in a million different circles and I have 10 conversations at once, but one of the things that I'm going to really try to do is to slow down and have one conversation at a time and tell one story at a time, and I'm gonna do my best not to have 10 stories in one, okay? Okay, so I also want to talk about my purpose for this podcast, why I started it. I really feel like God gave me a few gifts. One of them, I love to public speak. I love it. I realized that I liked it in high school. I did a few speeches in high school and I really liked them. And that's a trait that not a lot of people have. And so I was like, well, if not a ton of people do that God must have put that in me for a reason. Like, I'm going to use that. And then my second purpose for doing this is I want I want y'all to listen to what I say and look at the mountain that you are climbing and look at it in two different ways. I want you to look at one, that you are assigned that mountain with purpose. There is a reason you are going through the struggle that you are. There is purpose and power in the struggle, okay? Two, I want you to continue to climb the mountain because there's purpose, and the purpose is either going to be for you to prove to yourself that you can climb this mountain, or two, to prove to others that it can be moved. So that's kind of my purpose. I want to inspire others to be the best version of themselves, right? That's really, really my purpose for this. And sometimes I'll give you a swift kick to the butt and be like, sister girl, get up, do the things. Take your time to wallow in your sadness, but get up and do the things. Also, my self-tanner clearly went so wrong, y'all. What in the world is this? I was trying to be tan when I did my first episode, and now my hands are orange, but it's fine. There's my first side story. But I was talking to my friend Steph when I first decided that I actually was going to do this podcast. I was like, dude, where do I start? Like, what do I say? What's my first episode? Like, what? How do I do this? She's like, just start. Like, okay, where do I start? What do I do? She's like, just share your story. So I'm going to share my story with y'all and kind of where Life with Libby came from. So looking at me, if y'all are watching the video of this, you can tell that the left side of my face does not work the way my right side of my face does. And that's because I have Bell's palsy. So Bell's palsy is a facial paralysis, and I got my first episode of Bell's palsy when I was 6. So pretty much, I don't remember the day that I got diagnosed. Like, it wasn't like my Bell's palsy day. I don't remember. I was really young. Like I said, I was 6. My mom said that we were sitting at the dinner table and all of a sudden my face just stopped working on the left side. And she was like, Libby, what are you doing? And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, Libby, like, seriously, like, that's not funny. Don't do that. And I didn't know what she was talking about, and I started to cry, and that's when she was like, oh shit, no, like, there's something wrong. She said it looked like I had had a stroke. So we went to the hospital, and I don't really remember a ton of my journey from a young age. What I do remember is they didn't really know what was wrong with me in the beginning because Bell's palsy is incredibly rare in children. I should have looked up the stat. I'd planned on doing that today, but Life with Libby, I didn't do it. So it's incredibly rare in children. It's really common in adults. You actually might know a few people who have had Bell's palsy in their adult life. It can last a couple hours, it can last a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months, and then go away. That's usually how it works for adults. In kids, or in my case, that really wasn't how it worked. So I got my first episode when I was 6, and we did all the things, right? I got my tonsils and adenoids out. I got tubes put in my ears. Like, we did all the things. We were doing all the things. And then it went away, which was great. And then the following year, around the same time, it came back. And so again, we did all the things, the doctor's appointments, the doctor's visits, everything. And they still didn't know the cause for it. We had no idea what was causing this. We just didn't know. They would tell my mom, and I would love to interview my mom one day on my podcast. It's a goal of mine, is to have Kelly on here, because if y'all know me personally, Kelly is a hoot and a half, and she's a ton of fun, and she went through the ringer with all of my stuff. Her and my Nana were my right-hand people. We did all of this together. It was like the three of us, the three amigos. Anyway, so they would just tell my mom, like, oh, we're not really sure. And if you know my mom, that's actually not a good answer to tell Kelly. I wouldn't tell her that. Like, oh, we don't know. Like, no. You need to come up with an answer why my daughter's face doesn't work. Anyway, so I got it when I was 6. It went away. I got it when I was 7. And it went away, but it didn't go away completely. I still had some left over. Like, my eye didn't close all the way. I couldn't smile fully, but it went away for the most part. And then, third time's the charm, it came back, and it stuck like glue. And we had no idea why it came back again. And then they came up with a reason why I was getting this. So I'm severely allergic to cigarette smoke. I had been getting ear infections from it since I was a little kid. We didn't know it was from the cigarette smoke, but I got so many ear infections that it pinched the 7th cranial nerve, and caused my face to not work anymore. So if your 7th cranial nerve, and I'm not great at anatomy, I should be considering what I do for work, but your 7th cranial nerve sits right here. Sorry, y'all, I cannot look at this orange hand. I'm so sorry. I wanted to be tan for this, and now I'm orange. It's fine. So your 7th cranial nerve sits here, and it kind of branches out everywhere to your face. So that got pinched. So we tried all the things, y'all. We tried all the things. We tried massage therapy, everything. Whatever my mom and Nana could think of and what the doctor said, we did. We did it all. And they just kept telling her, like, oh, she'll grow out of it, like, she'll grow out of it, whatever. And my mom had finally had enough of she'll grow out of it when I was in 8th grade. She was like, that's enough. Like, she's clearly not growing out of this, like, and she took matters into her own hands. So she was at work. My mom works at U of M. We're close. Sorry, my hair needs a quick little floof here. Just, lippy things. I just need to touch my hair a little. So my mom works at the U, and she was doing some work, and this ad came up for kids who had facial paralysis and reconstructive surgery. And so she called the office, and they were in Canada. So we hauled up, me, my mom, my Nana, and one of my friends. I was in 8th grade. We went to Canada, and we met with a doctor up there. I don't remember his name, but if you ask my mom, like I said, she can go into way more detail of this in my younger years, because I don't remember the younger years of it. Anyway, we went up to Canada, but I do remember getting there, and his office was so big. I remember it had really big windows, and maybe I'm making this up in my brain, and that's not really what it looked like, but when you have a memory of something as a kid, and it just looks so big because you're so small. So I remember his office just being so big, and there being this big table, and he had a lookbook of all of the surgeries that he had done. And I remember looking at it and be like, but I want to smile the way that I used to. Like, that was my first original thought, was I don't want to look like this. I want to look like how I used to. I want to know what I would look like without Bell's palsy. I want to know what it would be like to close my mouth and to drink out of a straw and not have it go all over, and be able to close my eye. I wanted those things. I didn't want this. And I was looking at the lookbook because it was scary. These were kids who had way more facial damage than I did. And I was like, this is terrifying. This is my best option. Okay, I guess let's do it. So we met with him, and he said, he's like, we're up here in Canada. Like, I don't know how many hours away y'all are, but like, you would have to stay up here, and with insurance, it just wasn't working. He's like, I don't know where you guys are from, but I trained 3 people to do the surgery. And maybe I made this up in my head as this went along, but from what I remember, he only trained a couple people to do this surgery. And one of them was Bill Kuzan at the University of Michigan, which is literally 20 minutes from us. And we're like, oh my God. So we came back home, we made an appointment. I went and saw Bill Kuzan, and surgery journey started. So I had my first surgery the summer before my freshman year of high school. So what they did is they went through and they cut open like here and along here, and they took a nerve from the back of my leg. It's like 19 inches, I think. I have 6 scars on the back of my right leg. They're just small like this, like small little incisions. They went in and they took a nerve out of my leg, and they put it in my face. So they docked it they put it in and they docked it all through here. So I had stitches on the inside of my face, dissolvable ones, and then I had about 60 stitches on the outside of my face, okay? Going into high school, this is what I was working with. My face didn't work. I had been bullied all through middle school. Like, this is really how I'm going into high school? Okay. So that was the summer before my freshman year of high school. And then the summer before my sophomore year of high school, I had my second surgery. So this one, what they did is they went in on my left thigh, and they took a muscle. So I have a scar that's about this long and a little circle scar at the bottom from where my drain port was, because they went in, they took that muscle and they put it in my face. So I have a leg muscle in my face. And what they did was they attached the muscle to that nerve so that when my brain sends a signal to the left side of my face or to the right side of my face, it shoots across and moves that muscle. Okay, like that. Yeah. Okay. So that was my second surgery, and like I said, this was going into high school. This was not what I wanted. This was not what all the other girls were doing. All the other girls were doing other things, and I'm living my summer in a hospital, and recovering from surgeries. And I was a cheerleader, and I danced, and then I cheered, and I had to miss out on summer camps and all the things. And I was like, what the hell? This is not what I want. And it's also really important for y'all to know I was an atheist all through high school. I did not believe in God or Jesus, because I was like, if there is, I wouldn't be going through this. Like, that's madness. Side story, sorry y'all. So then the summer before my junior year of high school, I had my third surgery. So I lost all of my muscle tone in the left side of my face. I lost it all. So my eye would droop really badly, and they were like, you're gonna have cornea damage because you don't wear your eye patch and you don't do your eye drops, because I was stubborn. I'm incredibly stubborn. I'm really, really stubborn. And I'm supposed to wear an eye patch to this day before I go to bed and do eye drops. I hate eye drops. Don't try to put them in my eyes. No, I don't like them. I don't like them at all. So they were like, you're gonna have cornea damage. Like, we need to have surgery. So what they did is they just kind of it's this eye. They brought it up a little bit more. So it used to droop a lot. I'm not going to pull it down because I don't need to do that. It used to droop a lot. And so that was my third surgery. And then I didn't have any the summer before my senior year, because I was like, screw that. Like, I'm going to party all summer. And that's what I did. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but that's what I did. I partied all summer. If you knew me in high school, that's what I did. And then 3 years ago, either 3 years ago, yes, 3, 4, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. A couple years after that, I had to have another eye surgery because my friend and I were at my Nana's one day after my first eye surgery, and I took my stitches out because they were irritating to me. Like, that's how it went. That's what my mom had to deal with me, was me taking my stitches out. So I had to have the surgery redone. But the second time they did it, it actually went a lot better. I liked it a lot more. They kind of went in, and I had 3 stitches here, and it was a hot mess. I'll try to find some pictures and I'll share it on my social media platform. But that's kind of the physical journey of Bell's palsy, like surgery-wise. That's what we went through. I mean, there were countless doctor's appointments in there, and I could go into so much more detail on it, but the physical part was hard, but the emotional part was really hard, right? So I was the different kid. Like, literally half of my face did not work. Like, that's not normal. That's not normal. So I had some really bad self-esteem issues. I was the weird kid. I moved schools, I went to a bigger school, kindergarten and first grade, and then we moved to a smaller town, and I went there 2nd through 7th grade. And all of those people, all of those girls had been friends forever, and they weren't exactly nice to me, and I was weird, and I would get bullied, and it was really hard. And then I moved back to the bigger school, and things got a little bit better because I had more of a friend choice, right? There were more people there. And it was still really hard going through high school, and all you're worried about is how you look, right? That's all that matters to you when you're a teenage girl is, oh, I just want to be pretty, and having my face doesn't work. How am I supposed to be pretty? Like, what in the world? So I struggled with anxiety. I struggled with depression. I have actually attempted to commit suicide twice in my life. One was in high school, and I just brushed it off like it was fine. I tried, I went to the doctor, and then I was like, nope, it's fine. We don't need to deal with any of this. I didn't want to be a burden to anybody. So I just pretended like everything was fine, and I continued to struggle with the depression and the anxiety. Like I said, still an atheist through this whole time because I didn't believe that if there was a God, he would put me through any of this. I was like, there's no way. There's no possible way that I would be struggling the way that I am and there is a God. Kick rocks, no way. And then the second time was actually after all of my surgeries. I was a freshman in college, and a friend of mine had actually just committed suicide a couple months before, and I was in a really low place, and I actually was in the psych unit for a week and a half for attempted suicide and severe bulimia. So life with Libby has been really, really hard, but again, I feel so lame saying that because there are so many people who have it so much worse. I'm still alive, I'm healthy, just having my face doesn't work the way that most people's do. But the emotional toll on it was what was really hard. But I think what's important is I found my faith, and that was the most incredible thing that happened to me was I found Jesus, and suddenly I looked at this journey like, oh my God, thank God I went through all of that. I have so much empathy, and I feel people, and I know people struggle, and I'm able to connect with people and be like, wow, that shit's hard. Go you for climbing that mountain. You kick ass, keep going, girlfriend. Don't give up. I don't think I would be the person that I am without Bell's palsy. So I think it's important that whatever mountain you're climbing right now, whatever hard season, you're going to go through hard seasons, and you're going to continue to have curveballs thrown at you. It's to the point now where God's like, plot twist. I'm like, okay, I was ready. It had been a week. I'm ready, I guess. Here's another one. But you are going through these hard things for a reason, and there is purpose in the struggle. There's so much purpose in your struggle, and it doesn't seem like it right now when you are in the darkest valley. You're like, God, why me? Are you still listening to me? Are you still here? Do you still care about me? And the answer is yes. Yes, he does still care, and he is still there. And when you come out, because you are going to come out of this hard season, I believe in you. I believe in you in the bottom of my heart, in the pits of my stomach, that you can do anything. You were put on this earth with purpose, and God would never put you through anything that you cannot handle. I know that you feel overwhelmed right now. I know that you feel scared. The world is a scary freaking place right now, but you bring so much to the table. You bring so much to the table, and you inspire so many people. I'm talking to you. You bring so much to the table, and people love you. And although it feels like you can't take one more step, take a breath. Take a breath, but do not take a break, okay? My friend Steph says that all the time. Take a breath, not a break. Do not give up. You bring so much value, and the lessons that you are learning here in the hard season, you're going to bring with you to the next hard season, because there's going to be another one. I hate to burst your bubble, but you're going to come out of this hard season, there's going to be another one coming. It may not happen right away, but eventually you're going to have a hard season, and you're going to be thankful for the one that you're in now, because you learned so many lessons here that you were able to apply them to here, okay? Life is hard, but you can do this. And I want you to look at the mountain that you're climbing and think, okay, what am I learning here? Why am I here? What is the purpose? And maybe that mountain won't feel so big. Maybe if you look at it like that and think, okay, what is the purpose here? God, what is the lesson to be learned here? That mountain won't seem so big. And you can continue to climb it. You can continue to climb it with confidence that God put that in your path for a reason and for purpose. Whatever it is, whether, I know I've got a lot of mom friends, whether it is homeschooling your babies, good God, y'all are incredible. Superwoman. You are superwoman. You are having to do this virtual learning. The world is pure chaos right now, and you are still choosing to get up every morning and do the damn thing. And for that, I'm proud of you. I'm so freaking proud of you for showing up every day, even when you feel like you're failing, because you showed up today, you did what you needed to do, and I'm proud of you. And I think that you should keep going. I don't think you should give up. I think you bring, again, so much to this freaking table, and this world needs you, and I encourage you to keep going. So that's all I had to say for today. I'm looking at my clock here. I'm at like 21 minutes. I wanted to keep it between 20 and 25. So this is my first episode of Life with Libby, y'all. I'm just so excited to continue to show up here. I'm hoping for weekly doing this with y'all, but I just appreciate y'all hopping on here, listening to me, and just being here. I'm just so incredibly grateful for this opportunity and that God gave me this voice, and I hope that you were able to take something from this video, even if it's just don't apply self-tanner to your hands. They're gonna turn orange. If that's the only thing that you take, then girlfriend, that's the only thing that you take. But I hope that y'all have a wonderful week, and I am hoping that episode 2 of Life with Libby will come out next week. But I will see y'all later. Bye, y'all.